Bin Hull. A couple of outsiders there in the bottom half of the draw. So here on table 2, we're concentrating for the moment on this match between Judd Trump, the 25-year-old who lives in Romford in Essex these days, and Stephen Maguire, the experienced 33-year-old from the Milton area of Glasgow. They've met 5 times before, and interestingly, Stephen Maguire has won on 4 of those 5 occasions. Judd's only had 1 victory over Stephen Maguire. That was in the UK back in 2011. Whether that's a pointer to what happens today, who knows? But I'm sure, Dominic, you'll have something to say about that. Afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I'm looking forward to this match. I always like it when you have 2 players that have a contrast in style, shall we say. Judd Trump, an explosive, fast, attacking potter. Steve Maguire, a more cautious player. Great potter, great break builder, of course, but a great tactical player also. He'll be looking to keep Judd away from the balls at close range, I think, during the course of this match. Make it difficult for Judd, because, as we all know, when Judd gets going, he's a very difficult train to stop. Just want to mention, actually, before this match really does kick into gear, that World Snooker do have a half-price ticket offer on the Masters, the Champion of Champions and the UK Championship. That half-price ticket sale ends on Monday. Please go to worldsnooker.com/tickets for more information on that. I spoke to World Snooker just 15 or 20 minutes ago and they told me to mention that. This cue ball could be close to and off. Yes, I think it's in. No harm done though. Hasn't left any long potable reds for Stephen Maguire.
These matches still best of 9 frames, of course, as indeed are tomorrow's quarter-finals. But the semis go up to best of 11, and then Sunday's final, the best of 19 frames over 2 sessions, afternoon and evening.
Of course, Mike, as soon as this tournament ends, they have to fly straight from China to Australia for the Australian Open in Bendigo.
Bendigo, yes. A place I've had the pleasure of visiting, albeit briefly. Bendigo and Ballarat, the towns which saw a massive invasion of prospectors,
yes,
back in the 1900s during the great gold rush.
Yes, where I normally stay in Bendigo, so I'm flying out there tonight. So I'm playing in that in a few days. But yeah, there's the Deborah Gold Mine right next door to my apartment block. I shall probably visit that again.
Well, I know it's an awful pun, but these 2 players here are prospecting for a place in tomorrow's quarter-finals, hoping to strike gold on Sunday. There you are. I've got rid of them. Got them off my chest.
Was a nice clean pot from Stephen, although he'd have been disappointed to have missed it. He'll be pretty happy with the position he's got here on the blue. Good chance this, because the black's in open play, as is the pink. But only a couple of open reds available to Stephen before he'll need to develop the pack.
my goodness, and he did a lot of screw back on that cue ball, and look where he's taken it all the way from that green, right the way up the table. Perfect position on the red. Super shot.
He's played that pretty well. Seems to have a good angle here on the pink to screw right into that cluster of reds. This will be played with a lot of power and a lot of backspin. Wow, for me...
Not quite this time, Dom.
No, he didn't play that with the power I expect him to play it with. It's not on anything, it seems. Maybe a touching ball, which it is indeed.
Well, he's a little fortunate there, isn't he? In as much as he can now play that cue ball pretty well wherever he wants behind the ball colours.
Yes, he'll try, I'm sure, to snooker Judd Trump on all these reds, if he can. Not a bad safety that from Judd. Stephen's just going to have to be careful he doesn't collide with that red near the right side cushion here. Yes, played it thin enough. The problem is, played it a little too thin. And he's left a red on here for Judd into the left-hand black pocket, the one that's next to the blue. And it's a type of shot this that you practice quite a lot.
Practice makes perfect.
Indeed it does. And because Stephen Maguire potted the pink earlier, it's gone on its spot now, and it's close to the pack of reds, so it makes going into the pack much easier for Judd from the blue. I actually thought he might have done that with that particular blue that he just played, but chose to play for loose red instead. And he'd like to have another go at it because he hasn't played it very well. Once again, it's going to have to be a safety shot now.
Yes, but the safety shot isn't quite as straightforward as the one that Stephen had a little earlier when a touching ball was declared. That's just about all he could do, I suppose.
Yes, it was. Could be a bit of a stalemate here, because I don't think Stephen Maguire can return the cue ball back to bulk either from here. shot from Stephen. He's blocked the right half of these reds, and not quite so easy to play a safety from this side of the table. But he played that really well, caught it thin enough, just missed the jaws of that left-hand corner pocket. And at first glance, he looks to put Stephen in a tricky situation here. Got to contact this red absolutely perfectly. Just a bit thick. But once again, you can just see how quick the cloth is on this table here in Wuxi. Playing so quickly. Ordinarily that cue ball wouldn't have reached the bulk line. Played that very well, Judd. He's been a little unlucky there to have knocked that red away from the black and towards his left corner. I'm just looking at the two reds next to the black as well. I wonder if they're a plant to the left corner. No, it's a long red instead. Played that really well, Stephen. Didn't intend for that cue ball to run as far as it did. He wanted to be on the yellow or the green there. He may just have a favourable angle on the green into the left centre to bring the cue ball back down the table towards the reds, but if he hasn't, I think it'll be a safety shot. Brown would be too straight. That much too thick, but just managed to avoid cannoning a red near the pink spot, so it's reasonably safe, although I think there is a red at the bottom of that group of four below the pink that will pot into this left corner. There's a shot to nothing for Stephen. Bit of a cagey start this, Mike, isn't it?
I was just thinking exactly so. Yes. I've not seen much really attacking play from either player yet, but the game is very young yet. Meantime, though, I can tell you that Joe Perry has taken the first frame against Liang Wenbo, the victor over Mark Selby yesterday, remember, Liang? Zhou Pei had a 69 in that opening frame, and Robin Hull out on table 4 against Xiao Yupeng's just at an 87. And although that first frame isn't over, there's no doubt Robin's much too far ahead of Xiao for him to lose the frame. So 1-0 to Robin Hull there on table 4. And just to keep the updates coming, Martin Gould has taken the first frame against Welshman Ryan Day.
Tempted to cut that red in, Judd, but aired on the thin side. But the way the reds are spread now and the colours, one mistake could be quite decisive in this first frame. Fast bounce off the bulk cushion has helped Stephen really. Judd can't play a safety down the right half of the table, and it's pretty treacherous down the left half. Very congested with all the reds placed the way they are. Got to find something here, Judd. A spot of trouble. May just have to play a containing safety and leave the cue ball somewhere near this top cushion. Oh, this is dangerous.
He thinks he's got away with it though. The two reds adjacent to the black, I think, are covering each other. I don't think he can get one through past the other one into the right middle. I think it's going to be down to the ball end again.
This looks good. Perfect. Judd would love to try and rest on the red that's nearest his top cushion behind the black spot, but there's no path to it. Tried to rest on that red. Wanted to leave a cue ball between the red and the side cushion. It would have possibly been safe, but couldn't have finished worse for him, really. If Stephen wasn't on that red, he had one just parallel with the black spot that would have potted. Oh, that was a fast bounce. Goodness gracious. That's going to make position to a colour from this red very difficult for Stephen now. He's going to have to screw off another red, and judging exactly where the cue ball will finish won't be easy. That's the red in our picture that he'll be taking on, but as you can see, he'll be colliding into other balls. Won't know exactly where this cue ball is going to finish now. Oh, he'd be happy with this. That's fine. Choice of green or blue. At the moment, he just looks to be in good form, Steve Maguire. Judd's had a few attempts at long pot shots to nothing. He's hit most of them a bit thin. Stephen has potted already a couple of decent long pots in this frame, and it's looking pretty dominant at the moment. Just his sort of style of frame, this. Good tactical player. He's managed to freeze Judd out a little bit. It's just gone a bit awkward. Got a cue over a couple of reds here in potting this one into the right corner. It will help Stephen if the pink pots into the left-hand black pocket.
Yes, well, it was awkward queuing, wasn't it? Nonetheless, Dom, I still expected Stephen, with all his experience, to get that one.
Yes, the way he played it made the pots as easy as it could have been. It just shows when you're queuing over the balls, you can miss pretty much anything. Again, that was a very fast bounce off the side cushion. Just deciding to have the cue ball clean. That could remedy the situation in the short term, but once that chalk dust finds its way back onto the cue ball after a few shots, he may start to get the odd fast bounce again.
Has he held that pink spot, or is there room for it to go?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yazin is just going to check.
Yeah, I think he's held the spot there. I think it'll go on the black spot. I'd be surprised if that pink spot's.
You've got it right, Dom.
So.
Yeah, I think that was intentional from Judd as well. Didn't want to be hampered in potting this red to the left centre. Choice of pink or black to play for here now.
Hey.
Yeah, and this is Judd's problem. He's not the best positional player you've ever seen. He does make a lot of positional errors during the course of making his breaks, and he's finished completely the wrong side of the black here. And if he can't get through to the pink, he's got a real job here to get good position on a red. May have to leave the tricky cutback on the red that's next to the pink. No, and then out of bulk.
But unfortunately catching that knuckle.
Yeah, Judd should have really known that he'd finished the wrong side of the black, because he only rolled the red into the centre pocket. He should have known where the cue ball would have finished. I mean, he's considerably the wrong side of the black there. I think he'd be very disappointed with himself, really, Judd. That was a good chance to make a big break. But that's a clever shot. It's important for Judd to have got that shot right, because now that he hasn't got behind the black and snookered Stephen, he's got an easy chance to put Judd in trouble here. Still 5 reds left on the table, and this frame has already been in progress about half an hour, so this could be the longest frame of the match, quite possibly, between these two.
Ooh. That was one out of the blue. Oh, he deserves something after taking on that long-range red.
Yeah, that's what Judd Trump does to you sometimes. He comes out with the unexpected. He's sat in your seat expecting to play his safety, or you think everything's okay, and then pulls out a pot like that and makes a frame-winning break from nowhere. And that's a great shot he's played there. He's just cannoned that red away from the other one and knocked them both on. So a good chance now for Judd to get right back into this frame. Just that one tricky red on that right-hand side cushion to deal with. Could leave himself an angle here on the pink to just run into that red and develop it, and at least leave himself on the red that's next to the cue ball now. Just lost the cue ball slightly. We'll need the rest now. But he's got one chance now to get the perfect angle on the pink or the black to probably develop that red that's on the right side cushion as we see it. Judd being left-handed, I don't think he's going to try and drop him behind it, because he'd have to play it with the rest. Tried to develop it there, but just caught the pink.
Well, you never know with Judd. We have seen him occasionally play right-handed shots. Not quite as frequently as Ronnie O'Sullivan, for instance. But he is somewhat ambidextrous. We'll see. So close to moving it, eh?
Yeah, that was a good chance, that was. He was a little lucky. He just happened to cannon the pink so nicely that he had another opportunity to screw into the red, and I know Judd will be a little bit disappointed not to have cannoned that red out there. But he's got a useful 10 points lead in this frame now, and this looks to be well played. Yeah, great shot. But unless Judd did get a chance and potted a red and a black, he would need that awkward brown that's near that bulk cushion, so could still be a bit of snooker left in this frame yet. This is a great result for Stephen. Look at that, all 12 feet of distance between red and cue ball. This is a tough safety for Judd to be playing. Was a chance for Stephen.
Fortunes of this game are so bizarre sometimes, aren't they? For a moment it looks as though that red was going to be a gimme into that corner, but I think the brown's just in the way.
Yes, that was lucky for Judd, because the way the balls are now, you'd think whoever pots this red will win the frame. Just wonder if Stephen can just play a very delicate shot here and get a snooker in behind the brown.
Well, it went. It's gone. I didn't think he could get past it, but then from our commentary position, we could never be 100% sure. Well, the frame's here now for Stephen to take, isn't it?
Wow, who said cameras don't lie?
No.
You wouldn't believe that would pass a brown, would you?
No, not from where we're sitting anyway.
One thing I can definitely notice is Stephen Maguire's playing with a new cue here. Certainly not the one that he's been playing last season with. Certainly the butt isn't anyway, unless he's kept the same shaft. It's a 3/4 cue, so he has that option. They've had a new butt piece made instead. There's probably never been a better time to play with a 3/4 cue these days, with all the travelling to China that we do, and Australia and Thailand and what have you, so I think a lot of players will wish they had a 3/4 cue rather than the one-piece cues that they still use, some of them. Scores are level, so brown, blue and pink required by the player to win this frame. Stephen has the first opportunity. Oh, he's a tiny bit thin on this blue, but if he drops it in dead weight, I think he'll be okay on the pink in the left corner. It's a thin one though.
Too thin. Oh well.
Didn't get enough stun on the cue ball. That's the reason he cut the blue too thinly. If he'd have just got the bite on the cue ball there, he'd have potted that blue. Amazing. Judd can certainly cut this in.
Yes, again, a very thin contact with the blue needed, but that will enable the white to go in and out of baulk for the pink. Doesn't want to hit the black like that. That's the worst possible finish.
Gee, do you know, they're really struggling with these cushions. They're lightning fast. And you know, that's why Stephen finished so thinly on the blue, because he's actually played for a quick bounce off the baulk cushion with the cue ball. Didn't really get it, and he landed short on the blue and overcut it, but That seemed to race around the table, that cue ball there, and of course it altered the angles and cannoned the black, so still life in this frame yet.
One point in it, so if Stephen gets this, if Judd gets this I should say, Stephen can still tie by getting the black. Take us to a respot.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed, Judd, that he didn't snooker Stephen there. It was a good chance. It wasn't easy. But what's Stephen going to do with this one? He sends it round the angles. He could easily put that pink near one of the corner pockets, so he's got to be careful. This might be okay. Ah, that's a great shot really, because Judd, well, how does he play a safety from here? He may feel he'll need to try and roll this pink in, because it's just one of those cases where the pot's easier than the safety maybe.
Oh. Frame Stephen Maguire, surely. Frame Stephen Maguire, around about 38 minutes, a fairly lengthy one. A little bit cagey by both players, opportunities missed on the odd occasions, but as we head for a break, it's Stephen Maguire 1, Judd Trump 0. Welcome back to Wuxi. Stephen Maguire, the Scotsman, playing Judd Trump, 1-0 up here as they fight for a place in tomorrow's quarter-finals of this Wuxi Classic, which with its first prize of £85,000. 35,000 for the runner-up, so in effect the two finalists playing for 50 grand there. Big difference between the winner's prize and the runner-up prize. Intriguing battle here, Dominic, between these two.
Yes, definitely. It was a good frame for Stephen to win in the end. It'll just take the gloss off Judd's confidence possibly, just for a little while, till he gets another good chance. Might want to tuck his shirt in, Judd, as well. Something that players get told by referees to do whenever your shirt is hanging out from the back of your waistcoat when you're playing.
Well, you're the expert when it comes to sartorial elegance around the table, Dominic Dale.
No. I wouldn't say that.
But you're quite right. I think there's a right and proper way to appear in this particular sport.
He's going to get away with this,
He is, just as well they didn't pop the red. And I've been interested to see what colour he nominated.
Yeah, actually I thought that red would have just gone into the pack there and been safe, but it's just stopped in the right place for Judd to pot it.
Oh, not too clever a finish there.
No, he's on nothing really if the pink doesn't pot, and it seems that it won't, so be very disappointed, Judd, to have not got on the colour from that red. Risk rolling in behind the yellow. Yeah, I tried a different path behind the yellow instead from the green, but didn't quite manage it, but a good shot nevertheless. He's left that a foot short, so definitely an opportunity here for Judd for a red into the left centre. Once again, Judd's positional play is just letting him down. If I could say Judd has a weakness, that's probably it, is his positional play. Such a great potter, great builder. Very clever tactical player at times as well. Just his cue ball control is not as good as some other players.
I think that's a full ball snooker on all the reds on the table.
He's hit the green here, has he?
Yes, just shaved that first red first before hitting the green. Just got away with it. Quick update from table 3. Martin Gould has levelled the match against Ryan Day. They are one frame apiece now. And Joe Perry has just gone 2-0 ahead of Liang Wenbo. That's a cracker, and I don't think he can get to the black Dom, but of course he's got a long green.
Yes, he'd probably normally take the green into the right centre pocket. It's an easier pot maybe, but if he stuns across and leaves a cue ball in that left half of the table. There's nothing that seems to pot into the right corner, so he may have to play the long green into its own pockets here. Oh, he's not happy with something. Well, went in.
Well, it went in, but I think he felt he got a bit of a bad contact, and is he going to ask for the cue ball to be cleaned? Yes, I thought so. Meanwhile, Robin Hull, who doesn't get to too many quarterfinals, he might get to one today. He's leading Xiao Yupeng by 2 frames to 0. Robin nearly gave up the game a few years ago, didn't he? But he's still with us.
Yes, he was very ill. He had this sort of mystery virus, really. Very debilitating for him. And I think we as professional players all thought that Robin wouldn't be playing ever again, but he has come back and is in very good health these days. Looks after his diet and fitness and looking very well, I have to say, and he's playing probably the best snooker he's ever played at the moment. Of course, got to the World Championships at the Crucible this year. Had the toughest of all draws, of course, against Ronnie, but he competed very well, and I think he did show the public how good a player he is. I just caught those reds slightly thinly. Wanted a 4-ball cannon on the main red at the top of the cluster, but he's got a tricky cut back here, the red directly above the black. If he pots it, it's a great chance. If he misses it, could cost him the frame. Well played. Not a bad kiss on the blue. It's the wrong side of it, but shouldn't be difficult for Stephen to take the cue ball in and out of bulk and come back down the table for a choice of reds.
So I think
another fast bounce there for Stephen. Overrun considerably. You can still pop this red into the left corner, but it's not going to be easy to get on a colour here. It's going to cannon another red, and he's got to judge exactly how he hits that second red in terms of getting position onto a colour from it. Sort of trusted to luck a little bit in the end. Hasn't finished too well for Stephen. Don't think this pink will pop, will it? If it does, he's not too bad. Got a thin black. It will help Stephen if the blue pops into the left centre past the red. But he's possibly got a choice of 3 or 4 colours here, and they're all pretty similar in difficulty. The blue, the brown, the yellow, the black, all missable.
Yes, and a nice cannon on to the baulk colours there to stay down there for that red.
Onto nine. Thirty. Three.
I don't think the plan was to cannon into that yellow. Still okay.
Yes, he'll probably play the yellow here. If he plays it fairly plain ball, he can come across the table for a choice of the two reds below the pink into the right corner. Just got to judge the pace off the cushion. Oh, he's cannon the blue. He possibly cannoned the yellow previously from the easy red into the left centre because he had a tiny kick on it. It threw the cue ball a bit wide. And he may have had a square bounce there, which just caused a cue ball to cannon the blue instead of running past it. Because that's a sort of mistake you wouldn't expect a top professional to make. They know the run-off angles of all the balls that they play, all the different ball contacts. They know exactly how the cue ball is going to come off the object ball. And when I see something like that happen, it just tells me maybe the cushion's squared up.
Well, that was an unfortunate cannon off the yellow.
36. Not top 4.
But no huge damage done. Just the 4 points.
Just wonder, Mike, if this cue ball could be a little bit light, or playing light, so it's just throwing a bit wider off all the balls. I don't know. It seems to be foxing them a little bit.
We have seen a few like that, it has to be said. My, that was thin.
Similar shot here for Judd to try and get the cue ball in behind the yellow. Bit too thin. He's left a red on here for Stephen. But he may have to play this with a little bit of left-hand side on the cue ball to avoid cannoning the black or the pink on the way back to bulk. Went all out for the pot, plain ball. Would have known he was going to cannon the pink there. But I don't know if he's on this blue. May have to swerve it a little bit, so it's a tricky one, this.
Yes, he is swerving slightly if indeed he does eventually play that shot. You could see where he was queuing there. Very tricky.
Yeah, of course the pink will pop past the yellow, but it's a much more difficult pot. The problem for Stephen is if he does play the slight swerve here, he's got to inject enough pace to bring the cue ball in and out of bulk for the next red, so I think he's just hoping that the right hand side he puts on this will kick the blue in, rather than actually swerving it, because he'd have to play the shot much more softly if he were to swerve it.
Plan B.
I think this cue ball's light, you know. He's played a stun shot there and he's screwed back about 3 inches. He played for the red into the left corner and he's half ball on it now at least. surprised the players haven't mentioned it to one another, actually.
So just a red and a colour needed then.
Oh, where's it gone here?
Where indeed. Well, he needs brown. That would put him 44 ahead with only 43 on. So one snooker needed by Judd Trump here.
Where's the black?
Well. Needs 3 snookers now, and he has conceded the frame. A touch on the cue ball. He says that's enough of that, thank you very much. And so Stephen Maguire has taken the second frame. He now leads Judd Trump by 2 frames to 0. Back with the snooker here in Wuxi. Judd Trump sitting in his chair, awaiting for the return to the arena of Stephen Maguire. Judd trailing the Scotsman 2 frames to 0, best of 9, so it's a little bit of pressure now on Judd to get a frame on the board as quickly as he can here. Just remember the head-to-head which I gave you at the start as we see Judd breaking off in frame 3 of a possible 9. Stephen Maguire 4 matches, Judd Trump only 1. That's not a bad finish though.
Yes, look what he left though if that keyboard didn't finish behind the yellow. Can't believe Judd intended that.
I'm sure he didn't. The referee has declared a touching ball.
Yeah, which you shouldn't do because you only declare a touching ball when it's the ball on, and obviously Stephen Maguire wasn't on a colour. The red was the ball on. So pretty immaterial really. Probably just having a look to see if it was touching, so that if Stephen missed the reds and a miss was called, he'd know where to put the cue ball back precisely. Not quite sure.
I think your summary there's spot on.
Oh, this is too thin. Much too thin, needs the brown to come to his aid. Well, it has, but even so, Stephen will probably be disappointed to miss this red to the left corner. There it is. Position to a colour won't be too easy though for Stephen. Black's not really available unless he can cannon that red away from it. He'll probably have to try and thread the cue ball possibly down this left half of the table for position on the blue or bulk colour. So it does make the pot more difficult. Yeah, you see, he doesn't want to go for it because he doesn't feel he can get on the colour. And he's cannoning the brown, is he? Oh, very good cannon.
Yeah, it came to his aid there, didn't it?
Oh, that's a great cannon. He's really put Judd in some difficulty now. Just seems to me that Judd's rather playing Stephen Maguire's style of snooker here. He's playing a lot of tactical play, not really trying to force a pace, and of course we're accustomed to seeing big breaks and good long potting from Judd. But he seems to be playing a different style of snooker in this match. He needs to just up the tempo and bully Stephen a little bit, because he's sort of playing exactly the way that Stephen Maguire wants him to at the moment. Did take that red on, but he's hit it so thickly, missed it by here standers by a mile, and that's why the cue ball didn't find its path back to the bulk cushion, and he's left Stephen at this end of the table amongst all the reds. Certainly one red will pot to the right corner, probably one to the right centre pocket, one that's just below the pink. He's going for the straighter one into the green pocket.
News from table 3 quickly. Martin Gould, who went 1-0 down to Ryday, has fought back with a couple of frames in a row. He now leads the Welshman 2 frames to 1.
Too much right hand side on the cue ball there. Stephen was playing for the red just below the pink into the left corner, which he's still on, but wanted it to be much straighter than this. Does this red go? Well, it does. I must correct myself there. He probably did play for that red. Didn't look as though it would pass the other two. But I think this time he'll play for the red just below the pink into the left corner. May play the more difficult red here for positional reasons. A bit straight maybe on the red below the pink, so he's playing this thinner one here. Could get round the back of the black and position on the colour from it. Not a great scoring chance this for Stephen. The reds aren't too badly placed, but the colours are awkward. Black's tied up, the pink's pretty much tied up. It's only really got the blue and the bulk colours to concentrate on. Wow. Does this red pass the black into the left corner? Having a close look. I'm sure he played for the red there, just 2 behind the pink. But if he can pot this red, he may be able to cannon the red below it out the way and leave himself on the black. He's just having a look to see if the shot's on. Hasn't worked out. It wasn't a good chance that really, that with the colours being so tied up. Had to really try and make that break and develop things, and he just hasn't managed to do it on this occasion.
$23 points to the good though. And meantime, Joe Perry motoring on table 1. He's 3 frames to the good now against Liang Wenbo. 3 frames to 0. 1 more before their mid-session interval.
This tactical play that we've seen so far in this match is certainly not helping Judd's potting ability. Seems a little bit out of touch at the moment, Judd. Now what can he do with this opportunity? Clear path through to the easy red. Stephen's just developed the black slightly. The pink also is available now. So a good chance here for Judd. Oh dear. That wasn't a good strike from Judd. Cue ball shouldn't have been anywhere near this side cushion. But he is on the pink or the blue. Zhao Yupeng has pulled a frame back against Robin Hull. 2-0 it was, it's now 2-1 to Robin there on table 4. that pink. Judd Trump takes the lead in this third frame.
26.
Only by 3 points though. There's plenty more work to do to try and win the frame at this visit. That's a surprising mess from Judd. Don't quite know what happened there. Possible lapse in concentration, who knows? But he'll know.
That was a great opportunity for the youngster. 8 years difference between these two. Judd's 25, Stephen all of 33. He's handed the opportunity back to the younger player.
Yes, he'd be very disappointed, Stephen, at missing that one. He knows how big this frame is. A 3-0 lead is a very big lead in a best-of-9 frames match. I just wonder, though, if Stephen was trying to cannon the red away from the black there. He'd be glad that he didn't cannon it. Just the wrong side of the blue here, Judd. What if he'll screw back off the jaw of the middle pocket? Some players try that.
Yes, I've seen it done, but I've also seen it go horrendously wrong as well.
So nearly cannon that red away from the black. That would have been good for Judd. Because I don't know if that red will pot into the right-hand corner pocket. Black may just be in the way of the potting angle. But he's okay here on the pink. May be able to develop them here. Obviously didn't have the angle that he wanted to have on the pink. Tried to screw in behind that red for the left centre pocket, but he didn't get anywhere near enough backspin on the cue ball. And this is a tough red now that he's taking on into the yellow pocket.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice from Stephen's point of view. It is not so much for Judd.
Yes, perfectly judged. Judd will probably try to rest against the red that's tight on this black cushion. I don't think this is any good. Unless it rebounds and cannons red next to the black. May well have been playing to rest on the red by the black, but the problem with that shot is if he just cannons it forward slightly, he could knock it on into the left centre or the far left corner. But if Judd doesn't feel he can get to the red that's directly behind the black as we look in our picture here, then the shot he's playing now may be the only shot he can attempt to play from here. Oh, this looks good. Well played. Red may still be on down the cushion, but it's a very tricky shot to play and not one that most players would even think of attempting. That's a great shot that he's played there. Snookered Stephen on all the reds.
Well judged.
Very close. It just shows you how tight these corner pockets are down the cushions. Just when you play them with a little bit of extra pace, you have to be absolutely spot on with your potting angle. That just grazed the near jaw, but the pace that he played it with rather. Yeah, the pace that Judd played that previous red with just had to be absolutely perfectly played to go in at the speed that he played it with, but he was fortunate there not to leave Stephen that red.
Oh, that cannon on the blue has made a little bit of a difference. Still going to take a little to winkle out these reds on the left-hand side, though, Dom.
Yes, and the yellow looks to be tied up as well, so certainly not a good opportunity, this. Now, what sort of an angle has he got on this pink? Doesn't want it to be dead straight. It could actually be perfect here. Maybe have to cannon that top red of the three away. Oh, he had a kick. He had a kick. That just threw the cue ball slightly wide. Instead of cannoning that red full ball, he just grazed it. I'm afraid that's probably end of break. Don't think the two reds are set for a plant, so just got to make sure he doesn't leave a red on here for Judd Trump in playing this safety. Oh, I'd be happy with this. That's a very good shot from there. It was easy to leave a red on there for Judd. Superb. That's a great reply. It's very deceptively good, Judd Trump, in the tactical department. He's a much, much better player than people think when it comes to the tactical side of snooker. Play to cannon the red that Judd's attempting now. Stephen Maguire, that is, play to cannon it full ball and knock it onto this top cushion, because black would have been stopping any possibility of anything into this right corner. Going to need both these remaining reds, Judd, though, if he's to get his first frame on the board. So still lots of work to do. Great shot. He's got a choice here. Does he cannon that red off the top cushion or just play for it? Played the cannon.
Just this red and another black.
Yes, if he does decide to try and cannon the yellow and the brown, he must make sure he puts most of his attention into the pots here.
And that's what he didn't do.
Would you believe it?
Yeah, well, he hit the nail on the head there. He didn't need to worry about position. Black was frame ball.
Wow, that could be a big turning point. Because Stephen Maguire probably won't attempt this yellow. He'll snook us Judd in behind the brown here. And as you can see, that yellow's gone right over the corner pocket, so it's imperative Judd hits this.
There's some distance away. And I sense just a feeling of frustration there from Judd, the way he played that. Annoyed with himself for the previous error.
Yeah, I just wonder here whether Stephen will actually take the miss and have them replaced, because Judd just put the pinks tight on the side cushion, which means that a clearance here for Stephen Maguire would be very difficult. So he may have made the right decision there. Had that pink been in open play, he would certainly have attempted the clearance there. But surely Judd will hit the yellow this time. It's not difficult to escape from here, just one cushion. Play it with a little bit of left-hand side to widen the angle. Referee's completely forgotten where the cue ball was. And to ask for assistance from Judd here.
Attempt number 2 then. He's shifted it away from the pocket. He'll be happy enough with that. But really, he should have clinched this frame by now.
Yes, sometimes the balls don't forgive you when you make a bad error like that. Amazing though, Mike, wasn't it? Because he didn't really get close to the pot with the black.
Thinking about the position that he shouldn't have been thinking about, in my view.
That's pretty good.
So 18 points the difference, but all the 6 colours on the table, 27 points.
Yeah, the green is a slightly tricky ball if there is one, and Judd would also need it, so.
But he's in a snooker now. Well, Stephen Maguire is, that is. Can he get round the black? No, off the cushion.
Too much side spin on the cue ball there. Wanted to cannon the yellow 4 ball, but he'll be delighted with where it's finished. Where's this cue ball?
They roll and they roll and they roll, don't they? Tables in this modern age so much faster than ever they were when I started getting involved in snooker.
Yeah, you don't have such a nap on the cloth anymore.
On your local club table, that is, where the cloths are made to last.
Yes. Oh, this could be good.
More by accident than design, though.
One thing Stephen certainly didn't want to do, though, is to push that black safe. That will make Judd feel a lot better.
Oh, not now. He won't be feeling so happy now.
Fortunately for Judd, Stephen Maguire will still need that black. 14 points in arrears. Needs all the remaining colours to take a 3-0 lead. But he's got a good chance here to pop this yellow and get the cue ball up for the green. Don't think he can drop that green into the centre. Too much of an acute angle, I feel.
Well, Martin Gould's made a very good comeback after losing his opening frame to Ryan Day. He's taken the next 3. They've just gone into the mid-session interval. Martin Gould 3, Ryan Day 1. Well, he went for that, Dominic. I wasn't so sure that he was going to.
Well, may have given Stephen a chance here to drop the green into the left centre. The cue ball would run through maybe 6 or 8 inches for the brown, but he's got to play it as slowly as he can. Oh, brilliant shot. Now he's finished so nicely on the brown, he may well have the opportunity here to cannon the black off the side cushion. Just depends what he wants to play. Every player has their own idea of shot choice. That's what he's done. Oh, and he'd be delighted with this. Perfect angle on the blue to stun down for the pink into the same pocket. Stephen will be disappointed if he doesn't pot these 3 now.
Judd will be far more disappointed when he had that black for frame ball earlier. Yes, Stephen Maguire fights back and pinches it. Judd should won it, have won it, but he didn't. Stephen Maguire leads now, 3-0. Right, well, we're going to take a little break, and Welcome back, and as you can see, we've changed tables now because Judd Trump and Stephen Maguire have resumed following their mid-session interval. We'll keep you posted on the Perry Wengbo affair, of course. But just to recap, Judd Trump not having the best of things against Stephen Maguire. Stephen within one frame of victory and a place in tomorrow's quarters. This frame 5 of a possible 9. The Scotsman at the table and already forging ahead. Will this be a 5-0 whitewash? And up on screen comes a final scoreline. Robin Hull beating Chow Yu-Peng 5 frames to 1. The first result of this evening session here. Robin Hull through to a quarter-final appearance. Good for him. And Robin Hull, I can tell you, will meet either Joe Perry or Lian Wengbo for a place in Saturday's semi-finals.
With a lot of side on the cue ball. Tricky to know if he attempted the pot there because he's left the red near the pocket, but he didn't really get on the colour.
So nearly the white following through there.
Yeah, it was a bit too straight really to do much with the cue ball there. It was good cueing. Well, when you're 4-0 behind, you might tend to go for anything to try and get back in the match. Just wonder whether Judd will try and pot a long straight blue here or play a safety off the green. Yellow is his preferred choice.
Yes, truth be told, Dominic, we've seen very little of Judd Trump's usual style of play. He hasn't really had many opportunities at all to shake off the shackles, as it were, and produce his free-flowing game. Stephen's been tactically pretty tight.
Yeah, he's just made it very hard for Judd Trump.
And that just shaved that outside red there.
That's a better shot from Judd. Purposely developed that pack of reds there so that if Stephen Maguire did make a mistake, there was a framing opportunity for Judd, having opened those reds up like that. Attempted the cross double there, Stephen, but his main focus was on the safety aspects of the shot, and it's come out pretty well. Could that be Judd's last shot? He's left a red on here for Stephen Maguire, the one that's next to the blue, and if this goes in, it's a great chance to seal frame and match 5-0. Great shot. Well, Stephen, there's no excuse here. He'll fully expect himself to win the match from this particular opportunity. Quite hard on himself if he doesn't.
Six. Seven.
He didn't play good blue to red there, and I think he's tried to screw back for the blue, but he's gone the wrong side of it. made a mess of this. He wanted to seal frame a match with this opportunity, and just let his positional play slip a little bit. He won't be happy with making just 12.
No, but he's got second prize. He's got Judd in trouble here. Judd wasting no time at all in getting down to the table to play for these two reds. Close. Oof. Martin Gould 4, Ryan Day 2 is the latest score from table 3. Oh, that's a good shot to nothing. Well, now they're all here, Dominic, for Judd to take.
Yes, that was a wonderful chance that Stephen Maguire spurned.
So, 6.
Referee just calling out the wrong score there, just put Judd off briefly.
7. Okay. 14.
Tricky red, of course, so Judd will be this one along the top cushion. Still 10 points, or 11 points behind still. I spotted that pink. I think that yellow will pass the green, so this is a chance to win the frame for Judd.
21.
Provided he can just pop that tricky red along the top cushion. If he gets that far, that is. Oh, he's had a kick.
27. 28. 22.
'Try to cannon the red.
23.
Yes, you could see him tapping the table there, slightly annoyed about that. So still has this problem of that red.
Oh, that's perfection. Close to the red and with a good angle on it. But
Oh.
you've got to play them with more care than that.
38.
Well, as it wasn't on a colour anyway, but look where the red stopped.
That could be his last shot of the match. No man's land.
Yeah, I think he can cut the blue in.
But you surmise that that yellow goes past the green.
I think it does. It might. Well, we saw a ball, a red that passed a brown, I think in the first frame of this match. It didn't look like it went, so I'm assuming this yellow will go. But if it does, he may be able to screw into the brown and hold for the yellow. obviously the yellow does pot. He's managed to thread a path between the brown and black for it. Problem is with that shot though, he's left himself the wrong angle on this yellow. He's going to play a lot of check side, lots of left hand side on the cue ball to straighten it up off the side cushion. Well, it easily goes, look.
Well, well, well.
Wow, would you believe it? The side spin made the pot more difficult. It throws the cue ball offline and you have to account for that when you play those shots. But every cloth is different. They all play slightly differently with side spin. Just depends on the grip of the cloth, the amount of friction. It's very complicated, but a player sort of adjusts to that during the course of a frame or a match. You get to know the way the table's playing. But he was lucky there to have got the snooker on Judd. You can probably take this on because if he misses it, he'll probably snooker Judd behind the green. Brilliant shot.
Super. Could well turn out to be a frame and match winning yellow, that.
Surprised he's played for the brown in the centre. Never easy, these.
Well, he made it look fairly easy, didn't he? But you're right, they're always tricky ones. Well, he's odds-on favourite now. Anything but straight across the table. He's got the fraction of an angle. Should be okay.
Yeah, he won't be happy though. He should have been nearly straight on this pink. It's match ball.
And then it goes. And the handshake comes, and Stephen Maguire has whitewashed Judd Trump to extend his head-to-head meetings to 5 matches to 1. Having beaten Judd Trump here by 5 frames to 0, Stephen Maguire goes through to tomorrow's quarter-finals.